Okay, hello y'all. Welcome back to my channel. Once again, my name is Cassandra, and welcome to the in-house discussion. Okay, and the reason why I named this channel the in-house discussion, because for some of us ladies, we need to start taking care of in-house before we go outside the house and try to take care of anything else. And we have a bad habit of not wanting other women to tell us when we're wrong. And we got to get rid of that. You got to take that pride and put it to the side. So I'm going to take some of the topics that helped me when I was going through my anxiety and my depression stage, and discuss some of the things that helped me out. Hopefully it'll help somebody else out. If not, so wait for me to get it off of my chest. But I'm doing my part. You can let this bless your soul or you cannot. It's up to you. But anyway, so like I said, we're going to discuss some things that kind of helped me. Some of the things that I kind of dealt with, some things I didn't deal with, but some things that I see other women going through, or I notice, that people go through when they're in an anxiety state or a depression state, or when they're worried about a lot of stuff. So these are some of the things that I think that can help us out as women. So I just wrote it all down. Let me find the page. I told myself I was going to be completely ready and I wasn't going to have to do none of this, but look at this. So hold on, I lost my page, guys. I'll be with you in just a moment. So how are you guys doing? How y'all doing today? I hope y'all doing well. I hope y'all having a blessed day. Enjoying the day. It's a beautiful day outside. Here in Houston, it's hot. And when I say hot, I mean hot. I'm trying to remember to look at the camera and not to the side or to the left. So, okay. So, first thing I want to say is procrastination. We have to stop procrastinating when it comes to bettering ourselves, when it comes to healing, when it comes to forgiveness, ourselves and other people. We have to stop procrastinating because it only makes the situation worse. It only prolongs your growth. It only prolongs your ability to deal with things that you need to deal with on the inside. So that's one thing, procrastination. We got to get rid of procrastination. The moment you start to do something and then you find yourself doing something else, stop whatever else you started doing and go back to that thing you was doing at first and stick to it. And it happens. Like sometimes Sunday morning, I'll get up, I'll be getting ready to go to church, and I'll go in the kitchen. It'll be something in the kitchen today right now. I done start cleaning up. Or I'll see something that ain't right, and I'll start doing that, and I'll be like, no, wait a minute. Let me get back to getting ready to go to church, because I'm going to procrastinate and wait, and then it's going to be too late, and church going to be over. Then I'm going to say, oh, I'll go next Sunday. No, we got to stop that. We got to start sticking to our task and making sure that we finish what we started, or that we start. So that's one, procrastination. We got to stop procrastinating, you guys. So, oh yeah, as you can see, yesterday, if you watched the video from yesterday, I flat ironed my hair because I was going to the doctor. But I did what I said I shouldn't have done. So I flat ironed my hair with the leave-in conditioner on my hair, and it ended up not getting as straight as I wanted it. So I just ended up putting it back in this protective style, because when I go to work, we can't wear our hair down. So it has to be up anyway. So I just end up putting it back into a protective style, and I'm going to rock with it like that. And it probably won't stay like this for long. I'll probably have it back in a ball or, something, because like I say, I don't wear it down much. Okay. So number 2 is worry. We have to stop worrying. We have to stop worrying about what other people going to think about us. We have to stop worrying about what ain't right about us when it comes to starting something, like starting a business, when it comes to working, healing on yourself, when it comes to starting a YouTube, when it comes to anything that's going to help you along, we got to stop worrying about a whole lot of stuff. Like I said, worrying about what other people going to say, worrying about how we look, worrying about how other people going to feel about us being honest about certain things, their feelings. We can't do that. When you're in the process of healing, or when you're in the process of bettering yourself, you got to put all worry, you got to put it down. You can't even put it to the side. You got to put it down. You got to give it to God and go on. Because while you worrying about what somebody else thinking, how somebody else feeling, you stopping your growth, you hindering your growth, and they going on about their life. Because they ain't care about how they made you feel. And so they going on about their life, and you sitting up worrying about a bunch of nonsense and about a bunch of people who ain't going to matter in your growth. They're not going to matter. In your personal growth, they're not going to matter. What they think, what they feel is not going to matter. What's going to matter is you. How you feel, how you think. That's what's going to help you move to the next stage in your life. And you always got to remember, when you try to level up, you know what happened. They start coming out of the woodworks from everywhere. Trying to tell you about your past. Trying to remind you, old dudes you used to mess with. Trying to ask you about this friend, that friend, come to take you off your focus. No. So, stay focused and stop worrying. So, the next thing is not allowing people to take your peace. Let me tell y'all something. When I was going through, because even in some of my best times, even in some of my best times in life, I always had a problem with allowing people to take my peace. I'm talking about you find yourself, you happy, you content with life, you content with where you are, and you working to get better, but you content. You're not trying to be, like everybody else. You're not trying to run the race next to somebody else. You're running your own race. You content, but you working to do better and get better. And so, but I always had a problem with letting somebody take my peace. So I'm happy where I am. I'm excited about where I am. I'm excited about where I'm going, my growth. And here comes somebody. Well, do you think you should do it that way? Excuse you? Well, I don't think you should do that. Or, I have people tell me all type of things. You shouldn't date nobody till all your kids is 18. Okay. What? Or, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that because that's going to be too much on your plate. So you can go to work and you can start this and you can do that, and you're going to still be able to give all your kids the time that they need, and you're going to be able to be there for them, and this and that. And I'm like, and at the time, I'm not hearing them, but I'm hearing them. And I ain't letting it faze me, in that moment, I'm not letting it bother me. But then I find myself going home, getting in my quiet place, and now I'm thinking about it. Oh, am I doing too much? What if my kids are unhappy? Oh, what if I can't do this by myself? What if I do have to find, put myself out there so a man can find me? Or what do I do have, what if? And I end up letting somebody come in and steal all my peace. And now I ain't even peaceful no more. Now I done got back to worrying and procrastinating, because where I was in my peaceful state, I let somebody else come in and tell me, put my mind somewhere else. You got to stop that. When you in your peaceful place, stay there. Drown out all the other noise and stay there. Because when you take you out of your peaceful place, that's when all that other stuff that you done let go of and you done got over, it all start creeping back up. We can't let that happen. When we grow, we have to grow. We can't keep, we can't be like the wind and blowing back and forward. We gotta stay steady. Keep going. And it says, the next thing is always forgiving yourself when people wrong you, or when you allow people in your life that wasn't supposed to be there. We have to start forgiving ourselves. That's the first thing, is we have to start forgiving ourselves. Because a lot of times we put so much on our own self and it breaks us down. Sometimes we could be our worst enemy. We worried about this. We worried about, oh, am I going to let this happen again? Am I going to run into this again? Or we got to quit, forgive ourselves. Forgive ourselves and let it go. Don't harp on it. Me and my friends, we get on the phone all the time. We just get on the phone, and for some reason, we found ourselves talking about the same thing every time we got on the phone. And it was always something old. It was always something that didn't matter. It was always what somebody done to us, what a man done to us. It was always something old, and it was getting tiring. And we both was tired of it. We both said we can't get on this phone no more and talk about what John, Pete, or Jacob did to us. We cannot. We can't talk about that. We can't talk about, our past relationships and hurt, because we can't talk about that. We have to move on. We can't be trying to grow in life and then still talking about our past hurt. You talk about it, you get over it, you let it go, but you don't keep going over and over and over every time. We don't keep doing that. So we had to let that go. We had to stop that, because that was it, and we didn't even notice it until we was on the phone one day, and we was talking about something good. We was talking about the present, and the conversation was going well. Then somehow it just flipped and went on back to talking about something else that had nothing to do with what we was talking about. And we had a bad habit of going all the way around the world talking about everything else. But then we always found ourselves back at where we started. But we had that bad. And if she watched this, she know who I'm talking about. But anyway, we had that bad. But we had to stop that. And sometimes you might have to take a break from calling somebody. You may have to take a break from talking to somebody. So, you won't keep that habit up if every time you get on the phone. And it could be you, it could be that other person. But, if y'all are good friends and y'all recognize this, then you ain't in your pride and you ain't in your feelings when it comes to the table and you say, okay, we're going to have to stop talking about this. Whether it be me or you, we're going to have to stop doing this. You're going to understand and you're going to get it together. So, okay. And another thing, number 3, make sure you check yourself before you go checking somebody else. We got a lot of nerve, us as women, men too, but especially us as women. We got a lot of nerve to be trying to put somebody else in their place and you ain't even in your own place. Talking about what somebody else is doing, talking about how they can improve and what's going on with them, and everything about you is all messed up. Come on now, we got to stop that. We have to stop that. Because you can't come tell me how to deal with my man. I don't have one, but if I had one. You couldn't tell me how to come deal with my man and you and your man, husband, man, whatever, going through a whole bunch of nonsense. Check yourself before you come check me. You can't tell me about my son or my daughter and your son and your daughter. Check yourself before you try to come check me. You can't tell me how to save money and how to put up and how to start a business, and you ain't started no businesses. You ain't got no money saved. You just asked me for $20 last week. Check yourself. We got to start checking ourselves before we start checking other people. That's number 3. Number 4, when it seems like the world is up against you or coming for you, it's not. It's all in your mind. It's all in your mind. When I was going through my stage of anxiety or depression, I thought everybody was coming for me. Oh, don't get it wrong. There was a couple of y'all coming, and you're still coming, but the devil is a lie. But anyway, 9 times out of 10, it's in your mind. It's in your mind. It's in you playing your mind, and that's what the enemy loves to do. The first thing the enemy loves to come for is your mind. He come to throw you off track, go to worrying about everything else instead of worrying about yourself. So now you worried about, when I go outside, what they gonna do? Or when I go to work, how they feel about me? Or, you know what I'm saying, what is my friend saying about me? A whole bunch of nothing. It's all a play on your mind to get you off track. It's a distraction. That's what the enemy loves. He loves to distract you, especially when you in your growing season. When you in your growing season, he comes for your mind, baby. He wants you. He want to make you crazy. He want other folks to make you crazy. He coming for you. But see, you have to get in your quiet place and tell yourself that is not what this is. The world is not against me. People out here, they love me. They want me to do better. They rooting for me. You have to continue telling yourself that. And even if you feel like that is not the truth, you still tell yourself that. So subconsciously, you can start to download that, and you can move on to a better place. We have to do that as women, and as men too. And we have to teach our children to do that. You know, we have to teach our children to do that so they can continue to grow. Because sometimes they'll get stagnant in where they are, and you sometimes we don't know what it is, but sometimes it's because we done heard something, or we feel something, and we done downloaded that in our subconscious, and now it won't even let us go. It don't even let us move forward. We're continuously thinking about that one thing, so we have to stop that. We got to stop allowing our minds to do that. We have to take control of our mind and not our mind take control of us. Because if your mind is controlling you, your mind can have you thinking, doing, and saying some stuff that don't make no sense. Don't make no sense. So we have to learn to control our mind. When our thoughts get out of the way, when our thoughts go to going all over the place, we got to learn how to pull it back. You know, pull it back so we can get back on track. And it happens to everybody. And if somebody tell you it don't, I don't want that person talking to me. You know, you got those people that ain't never been through nothing. That ain't right. That ain't this. That ain't that. You ain't everybody. Your situation ain't everybody's situation. And the way you handle it and the way you went through something, the next person is going to handle it and go through it in a totally different way. So we have to stop that. Number 5. It's okay to take time to yourself, and as much time as you need. And if you have to do it over and over and over again, it is okay. One thing that I dealt with is people whispering or saying, she always going through something. Every time they call to the altar, she always running up there. You darn right. Every time something convict me in my spirit, I'm going up there. Because see, I ain't trying to go back home with the same thing I came in here with. So if this Sunday is convicting me on sleeping out of wedlock, and they might not convict nobody else. Nobody else may not care about that. But if in my spirit it's convicting me, I'm going up there for some healing. And then when I go back home, I ain't doing it no more. So if I got a man at that moment, you might not be my man when I come back home. I'm just saying. I move on. I let me move on the spirit. I stop hardening my heart, and I stop ignoring stuff because of what other people gonna think, or because of who I'm gonna lose, or how many friends I'm not gonna have. I stopped doing that because in the past I used to do that, and I found myself in failed relationship after failed relationship when I knew better. I knew better, but I kept doing because I didn't want to lose what I had, and what I had wasn't even worth fighting for. So I don't do that no more. So when I need time, I take that time. People used to always tell me, oh, she don't come around, she don't fool with nobody. That's not the case. That's never the case. When I feel like, and if I feel like it all the time, I'm going to stay to myself all the time. Because what I'm not going to do is when I'm in my dark place, or when I'm not sure about something, I'm not going to take that energy around nobody else. Because I don't want to break nobody else's peace. So a lot of times when I'm MIA, a lot of times when I'm to myself, a lot of times when I'm MIA and I'm to myself, I'm working on something. I'm working on something inside of me so I can be a better person, you know. And a lot of times I used to have a lot of friends that say, oh, she only come around when when she got some money, or she only come around. No, sweetheart, see, get out of your negative thought, because if you was my friend, you would know better. Get out of your negative thinking about me and think positive. How about you say, oh, she ain't coming around because when she ain't got no money, she don't want nobody doing nothing for her. She don't want nobody having to go out of their pocket to pay her part. If she got kids and she coming over and she ain't got no money and we going out to eat, she not coming over because that's her responsibility. Or when things ain't going right, or she lacking on money and she ain't got bills up to par, she ain't coming out because she working on something else. Her focus is somewhere else. Instead of saying, oh, the only time she come around is when I got money. Yeah, that's the only time I'm coming around. So I can make sure I can take care of me and mine. And I ain't got to go in your pocket. Or I ain't got to sit up in your face and you feel sorry for me and now you feel like you have to do something for me. No. So yes, I only come around when I'm able to come around. Any other time I'm somewhere working on me. Something I'm doing, a project, or my children, I'm working on me. Or I could just be enjoying life, but that's why I don't come around. So yes, I take time as I need it, and as much time as I need. And I stop letting what other people say make me come up out when I ain't ready. See, a lot of times we allow people to say something and we move before we ready to move. I don't do that no more. I'm not letting nobody push me across the line when I ain't ready to move yet. No. Because now I ain't running the race I want to run. I'm running for you. I ain't got no energy. So when you stop, you know what I'm about to say. When they stop rooting for you, you know what I'm saying? When you get to where they think you doing too good, when you get past them, you know what I'm saying? When you come up out of that box they put you in and thought you was gonna never get out of, now they not rooting for you no more. Now they not on your side no more. Now you don't hear from them. Now they MIA. And now you ain't got no energy. You ain't got no energy to move. You ain't got no energy to run. You know why? Because you wasn't running that race for yourself. You was doing it for somebody else because you wasn't ready. You didn't take the time to get yourself ready. Mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. You didn't take the time to get yourself ready. You running the race for somebody else. I ain't doing that no more. We have to stop doing that. And number 6, last but not least, because there's more, and we gonna talk, okay? If you need to start over, start over. Simple as that. And don't be ashamed. Do not be ashamed to start over. You know how many times I had to start over? But before I learned that it was okay to start over, I stayed stuck because I was ashamed. I was disappointed in myself. I ain't want nobody else to see me start over again. No, I started over. Sometimes I had to start over so many. I done started over so many times, baby. I done lost stuff starting over. I done gave up stuff starting over. I done started over and got mad because I done started over. But you know what? Every time I started over, after I started over, I was happy that I went on ahead and started over. I know I just said started over a lot, but I was happy about it. Just make sure when you start over, you ain't starting over at the same place and staying in the same place. Because a lot of times we'll start over doing the same thing. You know, you say, I'm not going to go into the next relationship like this, end up in the same relationship. I'm not going to allow this person to do this to me, end up going through that same thing. So if you need to start over, it's okay. As long as you're not starting over doing the same thing. Because it's okay to start over with some new information. Hold on one moment. That's my son at the door. One moment. Don't go nowhere. We almost done. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, that was my son at the door. Okay, so if you need to start over, go ahead and start over. As long as you're not starting over in the same place, you know. And it's okay to start over with new information. So you may go into starting a business and it don't work right. And everything around you telling you, oh, don't start over. Don't start that business over. Don't do that again. It didn't work the first time. But see why it didn't work the first time. You learned something that you didn't do or you could have done better. So go ahead and start over because you're starting over with new information. And that's okay to do that. So those were just some of the things that I had to evaluate in my life when I was going through, you know, some of my most difficult times. And I just wanted to share some of that with y'all because with us as women, we got to learn to uplift each other. We got to stop hating on each other. We got to stop talking about each other when they ain't got nothing to do with us. A lot of times you sit up and you hear people talking about stuff ain't got nothing to do with them. That person ain't there. That person can't speak for themselves. But you sitting up having a whole conversation and in your feelings about somebody else's business. Why? We have to stop that. We have to stop that. We have to put our pride down and allow ourselves to be helped and be told when we're wrong. And when you're wrong, you got to be able to accept that and fix it. That's the only way you're going to grow. Because a lot of people thinking because they got money and they got a new job and they got a man and they got married and all this other great stuff going on, they thinking that they growing. No, sweetheart, that ain't the type of growing I'm talking about. Because that can happen for anybody. That could a homeless person on the street can catch a break and have all of the same stuff I just named. New job, new home, get married. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about personal growth. I'm talking about spiritual growth. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about us as women coming together and looking out for each other and stop being so stuck in our pride and in our feelings, and we don't want to see nobody else make it. Or if they make it, we rooting for them as long as they don't surpass us. Then when they surpass us, now we in our feelings. Now we go to picking at things from their past because you don't like where they are in their future. So you go picking stuff from their past, trying to throw it back up. Or you go to thinking about their past. They don't let their past go. You go to thinking about their past, and now their past is bothering you, and they ain't even there no more. They in their future. But you see, you so mad and you so jealous, so you can't even, you can't even give them a hand clap or a pat on the back or give them their flowers while they running their race, because you too bad, you too busy back there when they was sitting down, when they was in all that mess. That's where you are. We got to stop doing that. We have to stop doing that. And I'm just grateful that ain't never been me, but it done happened to me. I done seen some people that was rooting for me and on my team as long as I was doing bad. As long as I had a bad man in my life. As long as things wasn't going good for me. Oh, but when I started to level up, when I started to do better, then all of a sudden, I was a problem. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm too much. But I wasn't too much when that man was beating on me. You didn't have nothing to say. I wasn't too much when I was coming over here asking you, can I spend the night because I ain't had nowhere to stay? It was all good then. You was so willing to help. You was cool then. But all of a sudden now, when I put my crown on and start knowing my worth and start working on me, now all of a sudden I'm a problem. I'm a problem now. But okay. We have to stop doing that, y'all. We got to start looking out for one another. We got to start looking out for one another. We just got to do better as women. We got to do better as women, so when we work on in-house, when we have discussions in-house, we capable of having pure discussions outhouse. People are more willing to look at us and acknowledge us on the outside when we done took care of the inside. So I'm going to get off this video because I've been holding y'all for a minute. So I hope you guys continue to come back. We continue to discuss some stuff. If there's some things you want to discuss, some questions you want to ask, anything you want to know, go ahead and put it down in the comment box below. I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out my other channels. They'll be down in the description box below. Living Under 40, Kennedi Iryana, sub bands, and share this video. Like, thumbs up, give me some tips, some advice. Would greatly appreciate it. And remember, queens, fix your crown because we love you. And kings, fix your crown because we need you. And we'll support you. All right, y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay positive. And always, y'all stay happy. Tell somebody you love them. And let's just keep growing. Later.